I'm very thankful for becoming an American citizen today. I know we're all here, we've already heard a couple of stories of people. We all come from different places, we all come from different situations, but we have the opportunity and privilege to be here. As a child, I lived right across the border pretty much from the United States of America, and I remember we only had a few channels on our television, but I remember always watching the American cartoons on Saturday morning, and I was always jealous at how much stuff there was in the States that we didn't have in Canada. But when I think of the United States, I think of opportunity and I think of freedom. And I think that's something for all of us here today. In this room, this is like a microcosm of the United States of America, because right where I'm seated, I'm sitting next to a lady from Uzbekistan and a gentleman who's originally from Russia. And when we're out working and walking around in this nation, we're walking amongst nations, and it's pretty awesome. So when I think of opportunity in the United States, especially with people who immigrate here, it always seems like it's the new people who come into the nation who really push things forward, cause things to happen. We heard about a family who's come in and had the chocolatier. We have a judge that's sitting here. But I'm working as a pipe fitter and plumber, and there's all kinds of opportunities, but it just seems like people come in and they start the businesses and they keep things moving forward, and I think that's the strength of the United States of America. And then also with freedom, there's a lot of things that people in the United States and around the world say about America, but there always seems to be people flocking to come to this nation. So something's right here, because people want to be here. There's freedom, there's opportunity. And so I want to just say thanks for that as well. And just this morning as I'm sitting down, I was thinking of those two words. I was thinking of two other words. I was thinking of privilege and of thankfulness. And I think these are two really important things. I know that, within the United States, there's been hard fights for rights for people. But what we have to remember, I think the base of rights is the fact that we are privileged in the beginning, period. So we have the privilege of life. And in this nation, we have the privilege of liberty and all these different other things that we get. And I think it's important for us to remember that. Yes, there's rights, but beyond rights, there's the privilege. And I think if we embrace that, it's going to help us to have better attitudes. And what can come out of recognizing the privilege that we have of life and of liberty and justice and everything that happens here, I think thankfulness and gratefulness. I know this morning I'm able to say with a grateful heart that I'm thankful to be an American. And I think thankfulness will really help us in our attitudes in life. When we just take time to sit back and think about the things that we have in our lives, how we've been blessed in different ways. When we remember those things, it's going to help us to treat other people better, to have better lives. And whenever you're thankful, it's almost like you're recognizing outside of yourself. You're not self-absorbed. You're not looking at yourself. And what's happened here in this nation isn't from one person. This nation isn't made by presidents. It's made by people. And so I think if we have that thankfulness in our hearts, then it's going to help us to be able to recognize our neighbors, to work with people, to be loving, and it's only going to make it better. So thank you very much, and happy to be here.